Hey Glams, welcome to Glamour and Brains. I'm your host Aja Yassir. This show features all things beauty, fashion, and business. I'm going to be bringing you all things glamour. And of course, with glamour, you have to have brains. Are you ready to make as much money as you want from the comforts of your home or from anywhere in the world? Well, join the Simple Beauty Naturals family by starting your own Simple Beauty Naturals franchise. Make incredible unlimited income with natural vegetarian skincare products that won't kill you. Simple Beauty Naturals is the gold standard skincare and cosmetic system, and our franchisees are gold standard certified beauty consultants. Go to www.simplebeautynaturals.com to apply to be one of our franchisees. You deserve to live the life you want. And now, today's episode of Glamour and Brains. Hey Glams, welcome to Glamour and Brains. I have a very special guest today, Felicia Leatherwood. If you have seen any celebrities flaunting beautiful natural hairstyles, chances are they were either styled by Felicia Leatherwood or they were inspired by Felicia Leatherwood. She has styled the heads of Miss Jill Scott, Marsha Ambrose from Floetry, Nicole Ari Parker, and the list goes on and on and on. Listen to this interview as she discusses how she began and how she became so well known. She even gives us a really cool hair tip at the end. Now listen to my convo with Miss Felicia Leatherwood. Welcome to the show, Felicia. I'm so excited that you are joining Glamour and Brains today.
Hi, I'm excited too. Thank you for having me.
Now, everybody, I know if you follow Felicia on social media, you know how busy she is. We were just talking about the BET Awards. I want to kind of go into that. You started working at BET at a very young age. Very young age. Then you started working at Millennium Salon, which is known for its celebrity clientele. So many of our listeners are entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. And can you explain the power of positioning and networking with the right people when it comes to building a solid business? Because being in front of the people at BET and then being in front of the people who came into Millennium Salon, that had to be extremely beneficial to your business.
Well, it is very powerful to surround yourself with the right people. Not even just people that can push you to the next level or connect you to who you need to know, but also like-minded people so that you stay motivated for what it is you're trying to do with your business and your life. So you're right when you talk about, surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, for me, I have to be honest, and maybe this is very unfair. I kind of fell into my passion. So from a child up, I always enjoyed doing hair. I always enjoyed making people feel beautiful and happy and, bringing that kind of love to them. And so I just didn't have a plan on how I wanted it to go. I just knew that was the love that I had in my life that I wanted to share. It's just making women feel beautiful and good about themselves. So basically, most of the things that I do in my life, well, everything I do is spiritually based. So for me, I know that I have to stay grounded and connected to a power greater than me because that gives me my strength. So when it comes to me creating my lifestyle or what it is I want, I basically do what is known as creative visualization. So I'll sit and I imagine myself in the most beautiful settings and places and doing the things that I love to do, smelling the air and, just really sitting and surrounding myself in that. And then basically just praying about it and believing it's going to happen. And then I just keep going. So I watch things show up like that because I don't have an attachment to the outcome. I just know that I love doing hair. I love connecting with people. And I just ask God, however it's going to come, let it be so. And here we are.
Now,
So the journey has been amazing.
now, as an entrepreneur, I know being a stylist anyway is already being an entrepreneur. But as being an entrepreneur, I know sometimes it gets very, very difficult. So, how did you find yourself visualizing where you wanted to be while you were in the midst of your various struggles to get to where you are today?
Girl, yeah, there was some rough patches, I'll tell you that. But I remember, I don't know if everybody, had this situation. Everybody has a different story about the economy falling. But I remember when the economy fell, I think it was in 2009 is when everything went crazy for a lot of people. People were bailing out of stuff, selling homes, all this stuff. Well, the way my life works, however, it is, my mother must be doing something. She prays or something. My situation started to get weird in '07. So in '07 is when I started going, okay, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, my clients, stuff was going on with them. And I had been on the road with Anthony Anderson for a while. And so when I came back to LA, I didn't have clients anymore. And I had to like start over. So what I did was, like you said in the beginning of this interview, I surrounded myself with people who would support what I was doing, which meant my friends, my family that still believed in me, that would tell me like, don't worry, girl, it's going to be okay. Just hang in there. Like, it's going to be all right. You're just going through a phase right now. I had that group like telling me like, don't worry, it's going to be all right. And then I got a hold. Have you ever heard of The Secret?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. I got a hold of The Secret. And when I tell you, I think I watched that thing like every day for 30 days straight. Seriously. I was fascinated by it because in my mind, there were a few questions I had. One was, oh my goodness, does this really work? And the second one was, does it work for people of color? And the reason why is because all the books I had ever been given or read that was talking about prosperity and entrepreneurship and manifesting your goals, there weren't a lot of them written by people of color. And I mean, I know that may sound ignorant, but I honestly just was like, I want to know. I want to know, could this work for me? I said, I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to sit and I'm going to visualize myself working, traveling, doing hair, talking to people, enjoying their company, them enjoying mine. And I did that. I just visualized the lifestyle I wanted to have. And I did that for 30 days. How many times a day did I do it? As much as possible. There was no limit. I enjoyed it because it was my scapegoat to not being stressed out about the things that weren't going right. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
So I would do it a lot. And then for some reason, even when I didn't have what I wanted, I still felt good. Like I felt like inside I was doing something really good for myself. So regardless of what I didn't have tangibly or what didn't come, or every time like something would happen and it would fail, I felt good on the inside and I had hope. And I don't know if a lot of people have ever felt what hope feels like, but it's an amazing feeling because you can't explain it. You feel happy for no reason. You don't have all your eggs in one basket, but for some reason, you know that things are going to work out. That's called hope. And I had that. And so I just stuck with that. And next thing I know, it just blew up. It's been amazing.
And so what was your big break after that period in your life? And also your first big break period?
My big break. I think that one of the biggest things I remember was I dated this guy who had a mother who just really never thought any woman would be good enough for her son. So she didn't really like me, but what she did respect was my work ethic. She always saw me doing hair at home, going to like a 9 to 5, coming in, doing hair. She always saw me doing that. And she really liked, she wasn't a naturalista. I've always done natural hair, but she liked the styles that she saw me do, you know, because I would be at his house. He had this big house, and let me use part of it to do hair. And she would come and she'd see. And she told Millennium Salon, which was over by the Grove in Los Angeles on 3rd Street, it's a prominent area. She told the guy about me because he was looking for a natural hairstylist. And I went in there in 2000 and he hired me, and my life just took off after that because that salon was celebrity based. Like there were nothing but celebrities in there because you had barbers cutting people like Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, The Rock's hair, all the comedians, you know, and then you had hairstylists that did like the fabulous weaves and the straight hair. And so we had people, you know, Aaliyah was coming in there, and Gabrielle Union. And so we had the top of the top. And so whenever somebody needed their hair braided, they would come to me. And at that time, that's when like natural hair was primarily men. Men were really wearing natural hair. So I was braiding all the ball players' hair, the basketball players, the football players. I was, because I had worked at BET from like the age of 19 to like 24, 25. By the time I was doing hair, I was in my 30s. And so Cedric the Entertainer, when he came, he's like, oh my God, I remember you from BET and the Comic View. And then, you know, everybody just kind of remembered me. And so they started showing me love and coming to me, sending their wives to me. And that's when I met Jill Scott and Marsha Ambrosia, Floetry, and just a lot of wonderful people. And my life just changed from that moment on.
Now, what about when you went through your struggles in 2007? What happened? What was your big break then?
Well, before the struggle, what was my big break?
After the struggle, when you were doing your visualization and watching The Secret, what happened?
What did happen? You know what? What happened was, so my clientele started to pick back up. And, I remember. I don't know if you remember, Jill Scott had kind of like disappeared for a little while, just for a little bit.
Wait a minute, hold up, Felicia. I remember everything about Jill Scott.
Okay. Well, she had kind of like gotten quiet in the media because she was working on her next album. And when she emerged, she hit me up and said, hey, I want a new look. I'm going to be doing some new stuff. This was for the premiere of Why'd I Get Married? Mm-hmm. And I did a hairstyle, did 2 hairstyles on her that went viral. And I didn't even know. I wasn't even really in social. I was on Facebook, but I didn't really know about all the rest. And so people were like writing out all these blogs saying, who's doing Jill Scott's hair now? Who's responsible for this style? This is amazing. It was like that braided style. It was like braided in the front and she had hair in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Or like braided on the side and then hair on one side. Like I did that. And that blew me up. And then I heard the voice say, create your natural hair workshops. Create speaking to women about empowering and embracing themselves with their natural hair. I didn't even know there was a natural hair movement. I just heard this voice say, you need to talk to women about their natural hair. So I said, okay. I did Jill Scott's hair. I did a workshop here in LA where my friends and family came. There were probably like 20 people came to the workshop, my first one. I had a compulsion to videotape it. We did that. And then people started looking for me. And when I did my first interview, it was with Afro Bella. And she said, so what's next for you? You did Jill Scott's hair, and then what's next? I said, well, funny you ask. I do these natural hair workshops. And she said, well, you should come to Chicago and do it. I said, oh, that ain't nothing but a word. So I took my first year, like all the money I made that first year. This was about 6 years ago now. And I invested it into traveling throughout the United States to speak to women about their natural hair, educating them, empowering them. And after that, it blew up again. By the next year, I ended up on the Dr. Drew show talking about natural hair. I ended up on Ricky Lake's show. I ended up in a bunch of like media forums and interviews and magazines. And it has just been absolutely incredible.
So everybody hear that? You got to get your public speaking on. Felicia is telling you. Now, I know you said you started off with a lot of male clients. Anthony Anderson. I know I've heard you worked with Arsenio Hall, and you just said
Yes.
ball players. So do you think men started this natural hair movement?
They kind of brought it back because, and nobody knows, but the women were so attracted to the cornrow designs that Iverson wore. And what happened was the women would come to me and say, hey, I want my hair like that. I just want to add a little hair in with it. Or I want my hair in a design, but I want to put a little kinky afro on the back. So the men were the ones who brought us back to the natural movement, to be honest. Like, they were wearing the twist. You remember D.L. Hughley's twist?
Oh, yeah.
I think he has dreads now out of them, but like they were wearing all those hairstyles. Even I did some of the first dreadlocks on some of the football players, and I remember us joking about it, saying, "Oh, they're gonna have to make the helmets bigger for locks. You know, you think they'll do it?" And now they are. So yeah, the men kind of brought us back with it.
Wow.
The fros, yeah.
Wow. Thank you, men. So what do you like least about the natural hair care movement?
I think that you can't do whatever you want without somebody having something to say. I feel like we're putting too much importance on hair, and we really need to start looking at how we feel about ourselves. Because I think that when you start making comments about baby's hair need to be a certain way, and you know, natural girls needed this. Oh, well, you wearing your hair straight, then you ain't natural. Like, I just think everybody kind of need to mind their own business and support one another. Whatever you want to do, you support that. Like, if you want to eat peas and pork chops, girl, that's you. Do it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when you create a place where people are constantly judging each other, they're constantly going to be looking to find power in that judgment. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's a powerful place to be.
That's very interesting that you said that.
Well, because the natural hair, this is an introduction to yourself. This isn't really, the movement hasn't really started just yet. The movement is when you get past the hair and you start saying, oh, snap, I don't really know that I like myself, my blackness, my skin tone, the way I speak. I'm really not attracted to me. That's when the movement really starts. And that's why I say that if we stop looking at talking about everybody else and being all up like, oh, well, her hair is not this or that, then you can really start the movement of who are you. If you're always only connecting yourselves to women that don't have your hair texture, and you're watching bloggers that don't have your hair texture, and you're trying to recreate things that they've done, and it's not your texture of hair, then you got to look within yourself. That's where the movement starts, is when you start looking at what it is you're attracted to and why you've been attracted to that.
That's very, very interesting. And you say hair talks to you. I mean, even to a point where some of your clients have called you the hair whisperer. What are some things that clients' heads have said to you?
Well, the number one thing is she don't care about me. She is not taking good care of me. She doesn't care. Oh, she just lied to you, by the way. She is not deep conditioning me. She is not moisturizing me. So, yeah, it tells me, you guys, what your diet is, what your stress level is. You know, if you stay up late at night, it tells me all kinds of things. Mostly it tells me how you love yourself. So, you know, women that are really, really into themselves, they are constantly changing their hair, their look. They're all about it. They know all the things to do. Sometimes you got to look at yourself when you don't feel you're most attractive and just let yourself be really, really natural. There's days we need to walk out the house with our hair, with no makeup on and our hair in a mess. Those days that you got to get over it and you just got to get past all of that. So I know when women come to me, what's going on. They talk to me, you know, I ask them a lot of questions. and they'll give me 30% of the correct answer.
But you know, it seems like you get the most compliments when you are just being yourself without all of the cover up and everything.
Because it's the essence of who you are. See, when you're trying to cover up or you're trying to look a certain way, that creates a different type of insecurity where you're expecting for the compliment to come.
Mm-hmm.
And when it doesn't, it's like, they didn't even say they like my hair today, or they didn't even say they like my dress. But when you're not expecting it and you like, well, I look crazy, and you just mind your own business, you don't have an attachment to compliments. You don't have an attachment to the outcome of how you look. So inside, your essence has changed, and it's created you to be completely organic. And that's what people like.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I want you to tell us about some of your business ventures that you're doing right now, including the Felicia Leatherwood detangler brush.
Oh, that detangler brush is everything. First of all, what happened is I was fooling around in the beauty supply and came up on this brush. And I'd seen this one brush for a long, long time. And we used to play with it on dolls and wigs, hair and stuff. And I got the brush and I said, I wonder how this brush would brush out kinky hair. So I found out it brushed out kinky hair very well. I loved it. And I started telling women, like, this is one of my favorite things to brush out kinky hair. Then I got the notion that I could make this brush better. I could make this brush better. I can make this brush stronger, wider, thicker, more durable for all types of hair. And thus I created the Felicia Leatherwood detangler brush. What's so great about the brush is it's a comb brush. So it opens up and moves with the hair, and it will detangle any kind of hair. The thickest, kinkiest, curliest hair, it will detangle that without ripping out all of your hair. And that's why it's a miracle brush, and it's definitely a must-have because it's absolutely incredible. So you would use it on your days, your shampoo days, when you put your conditioner in. That's when you go to detangle your hair. And it'll open up, move with the hair. If you have split ends, if you have tangles, fairy knots, and it catches it, it will pause and release it into a curl without breaking your hair. So it's an amazing brush. I have to send you one.
Yes, I would love one because, I mean, I'm hearing so much about it. Also, what else are you doing business-wise?
Man, what am I doing? Well, I have some stuff on the horizon, but the brush right now is my major thing, and my reality show, Head Cases, which is on Issa Rae's channel. Head Cases is another love of mine. And what Head Cases is, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check it out on YouTube.
Yes, I love Issa Rae. So, yes, I checked you out.
So Head Cases is basically, it's a real reality show. Like, I have never met these women before in my life until the day we shoot. And they were sending in messages about just different issues they were having. Because when I travel around talking to women, all over the world, women really do have an issue going on with the hair. And I mean, I said, well, we got to get this on tape so that other women won't feel like they're alone in this, you know. And so we've been getting a great response. So many people written in wanting to be on Head Cases, and they're saying they actually have a real head case. And a lot of what Head Cases is, because of what I do as a hairstylist, is there's a psychology that also goes with doing hair. So you have to pay attention to the clients. You have to listen, because you have to know whatever is going on the hair is actually going on in the life of the person. And so I noticed that a lot of women who have a lot of issues with their hair in terms of wanting to change it often, they're never satisfied, just having all these different issues as it relates to the hair, when the hair really is not the issue, is the thing that I wanted to bring out to the forefront. I wanted the women to see that it's really not the hair, not all the time, you know. And one thing that I always tell women is, you make the hair look good. The hair don't make you look good. Yes, we've seen some beautiful hairstyles, but if the woman don't wear it with confidence, then you miss out on the beauty of it. So I really try to go past the hair and deal with the core of the woman, making her feel good and beautiful about herself. And we also show her how to work her hair.
Speaking of which, can you give us some quick tips on what we should do, especially for those of us who have busy lifestyles, as many of our listeners do?
Well, the best thing I can tell you is that you always want to create a hairstyle that you can turn into three hairstyles. I'm good for that. So if you do a twist out and your hair is medium to, let's say your hair is from your earlobe and longer, you can turn that hairstyle into three different hairstyles. You can do a twist out, pin it up, or you can double strand twist your hair, pin it up, do a pin up updo, and then just take out the front part, or take out one side, or take out just the middle and do a fro hawk. And then when it's out, you can also take the hair and do fold and tucks and pin that into different various hairstyles, and do hairstyles that look more of a time period of like the 40s and the 50s. I pull a lot of my inspiration from that era. I love the 40s and the 50s hairstyles. So we just have to play. I'm I love a 10-minute updo. And so when I travel and I hit the stage, I show women you can do your hair in 10 minutes. You can do an updo in 10 minutes. Your best friend is going to be those hairpins.
Can you let everybody know how they can book you or find out more about you?
Yeah, you can always locate me on Instagram or Twitter under Loving Your Hair. That's LOVING, Your Hair. Or you can go to Facebook under Loving Your Hair with Natural Care. And there's a fan page there. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm an Instagram addict. Or you can come to my website and you can put in FeliciaLeatherwood.com. And there you'll find the detangler brush as well. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to come visit me at FeliciaLeatherwood.com. But I'm Googleable.
Thank you so very much for joining Glamour and Brains. I know you've given some tips to our glams out there.
And thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Are you in network marketing and having a hard time at least becoming a six-figure earner? Well, check out my book, Secrets of a Six-Figure Earning Network Marketing Diva, on Amazon, and read how a single homeless mother started from nothing to becoming a six-figure earning network marketing superstar. Secrets of a Six-Figure Earning Network Marketing Diva by Aja Yassir, on Amazon. Thank you to all our glams for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Also, go to glamourandbrains.net and join our mailing list to get lots of freebies and leave me comments. Also, visit www.simplebeautynaturals.com for all your vegan cosmetics and natural skincare needs.